If you're like me, and I know I am, and I got debts no honest man can pay. If you're like me, and I know I am, and I got debts no honest man can pay. If you're like me, and I know I am, and I got debts no honest man can pay. If you're like me, and I know I am.
I have to say.
Look, first off, I just want to thank everybody for coming out here. Really appreciate everybody here and all the efforts that everybody put into this event for my brother. It's a testament of his character. There's artwork in the back here. You'll see it. It's beautiful. It's to take home. Dude, awesome. I mean, I can't... So many people here stepped up. It's truly amazing. It really is. It's like I'm ready to just cry, and I'm not that guy. It's just, you guys, it's like truly amazing seeing you people. Yeah, you'd love to see that. Cry with you. So we're gonna get everything kicked off right now. We're gonna start with the Reverend Joe Mahoney. He's gonna give a couple words here. You know, this guy's in store Reverend. Joe, thank you, and everybody appreciate.
How you doing, folks? Such a sad occasion, but we are here to celebrate, we are here to laugh, and we are here to remember. This is a prayer in the name of peace, love, community, and of course, understanding. Get closer to the mic. Peace because Scott was a deadhead. Love because he loved you like a brother. Community because we were all connected. Today we gather in remembrance and reflection. We come together as a community, united in love, seeking peace and solace during this time of loss. We offer this prayer encompassing the power of peace, love, and community as we honor the memory of our dear Scott and also his father, Bernard Joseph Colan, who passed 12/7/22. We pray for peace to fill our hearts and our minds, bringing comfort and healing to those who are grieving. May the tranquility that surpasses all understanding grace, the space is left by our beloved Scott. He was a genuine person through and through, and we never hesitated to express our love for one another. Love you like a brother, as we would say. In fact, one of his final messages to me was he was proud of me. His constant inspiration and unwavering support have had a profound impact on my life. And even now as I read books or listen to music, I can't help but feel his presence.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Pat Berkery. Scott and I were, Scott was one of my closest friends for, 30 years, 33 years, I think it was altogether. We were bandmates, we were housemates, we were co-workers, we were partners in a Phillies partial season ticket plan during some incredibly lean years. I'm going to talk about Scott for a couple minutes, then I'm going to bring up some friends who are also going to say a few words, and we're going to play some songs to honor the guy we all loved so much. I look around this room, and I see so many people who loved Scott, and I'm reminded of something he said once. This is right after the dust had settled from a barroom brawl at the old Evergreen Irish Pub in Somerdale, which some of you may have frequented, not far from here at all. It was a tiny little room where they had the Sunday night blues jam, and on this particular Sunday night, people were throwing punches, beating the hell out of each other. And this wasn't just two people trading blows, this was multiple people fighting each other. Many people. Joey, you were there. Ronnie, I think you might have been there that night. So this is going on for a few minutes, and after everything finally calmed down, Scott goes in the corner of the room where the band was set up, and he gets on the mic, and with that smile of his, he says, I feel a lot of love in this room. Huge laughter, just like that, and it was basically a master class in how to diffuse a tense situation, and it was one of many life lessons I learned from Scott over the years. I should add, and this is important, I was 17 years old when that happened. That's right, just hanging out in a bar on a school night on the White Horse Pike. Good job, Mom and Dad, Yeah, that's all right, right? Okay. So it was right around that time. I had just started playing drums with Scott and Ronnie Tagg, who you're going to meet in a few minutes. And I was in way over my head with those guys. And I'm 6'5", so that's saying something. And I musically completely in over my head. And I was completely and utterly intimidated by Scott. I'd never met anyone like him. And he was 6 years older than me. He was extremely blunt and opinionated and prone to doing things like rifling through my CD collection uninvited and then turning to me and saying, "Do you even like music?" To which I would say, "I don't know, man. Shake Your Moneymaker's a pretty good record." As Scott got older, the sharp edges got sanded down very organically, which enabled him to find this other emotional gear that was so steeped in gratitude and like a genuine desire for everyone in his life to be happy and settled. I'm convinced, knowing Scott as well as I did, that gear was there all along. It was just Kristen and Charlie and Marshall that helped him realize it was there and helped him, really find it. I'll just close by saying, the impact Scott had on my life was immeasurable. And I honestly don't know if my life would be where it is without him. I'm so lucky to have had him in my life. Even in the darkest times, we never stopped laughing our ass off. And that was like the best thing about our friendship. I certainly do not think my life would be what it is without Scott's influence. Thank you all so much for coming. Scott, I love you. I'll see you on the other side, my friend.
Pat had suggested that I try to encapsulate the years that we spent together in the band Linola, myself on drums along with Jay Lachlan, who you'll hear in a few minutes, and Dave Grubb as well, who's here with us. I had remarked in a post that I made when I learned about Scott's passing that in many ways he was the spirit, the personality, and the conscience of the band Linola. What I meant by that was, without Scott in our midst, the whole experience wouldn't have been a fraction of the fun and adventure it became due to his presence. Simply put, from where I stood, and with the benefit of hindsight, Scott truly guided us in ways that kept us, as a band, from succumbing to what was an otherwise pretty uptight and bland underground music culture at the time. In essence, he made it all fun, a lot of fun. Scott's fearlessness, his wicked sense of humor, and his highly attuned bullshit detector were the perfect trifecta for navigating the scenes and scenesters of 90s indie rock. Watching Scott simultaneously intimidate, disarm, and befriend some new acquaintance in our travels was like watching a masterclass in some governmental psyops training. And for introverts like me and Dave, this was like watching a pro sporting event. But the best part about it, whatever person or band Scott might have been testing or mutually sizing up at the start of the evening, it would also be Scott by the end of the night who was arm in arm and laughing with those same folks, getting a round of drinks bought for him, new friends having been made. I saw it happen all the time. The ability for Scott to expertly get people in his midst to lighten the hell up, to get over themselves, if only for a few moments, let their hair down and not be hung up on what others would think, was a skill that you can't teach. It really just was who he was. And doing that was often harder than you'd think in the 90s indie rock music scene. Much like a psychedelic version of the Kool-Aid Man crashing into a room full of sensitive Bell and Sebastian types, Scott helped everyone transcend some of the more pious and stifling unwritten social codes of that era. In all that we hold dear about Scott, I also want to acknowledge him as a formidable musician. All the laughs and sarcasm aside, he took his bass playing really seriously. While Jay and Dave's bombastic guitars would veer off wildly like drunken spaceships, Scott and I were the earthbound ballast, holding the tether in lockstep foundation, and there's a certain rhythm section mind meld that only happens when a bassist and a drummer play together long enough. After hundreds upon hundreds of hours of that kind of communion, the sum becomes way greater than the parts. I am thankful for being able to have created so much together with Scott, and I know Jay and Dave feel the same way. Besides being an amazing human, he was an excellent musician, rock solid, and playing with him was effortless. I loved looking over at him and seeing him in the zone, his head doing that patented Scott Colan circular bobbing movement, his eyes closed, a smile on his face. I think that is how a lot of us will think of him, happy and doing what he loved, smiling, laughing, and sending out his own very peculiar brand of positive energy into the universe. There's so many more anecdotes and memories of our condensed time together, and I'm extremely grateful that we remained on good terms after our music making days. It was always a treat to catch up with him, exchange notes on whatever new music caught our ears, him so incredibly proud when updating me on the latest developments of his boys and Kristen. I always looked forward to seeing him and simply wished it had happened more often in recent years. His absence still doesn't truly line up with reality for me. It seems like it was only a minute ago that he'd come storming in the front door at Rock Hill Road for practice, greeting us always by our first and last names. Shawnee Byrne, Jay Lachlan, Davy Grubb, to which you can only joyfully reply, Scott Colan.
It's weird, I'm kind of like a frustrated drummer. Like I've always wanted to be a drummer, and I feel like, and Scott working with me at Woodshop Films and Scrapple, like what we did together, he was like the rhythm section. Like together we kind of, there's this bond that a drummer and a bass player have when they kind of get in a pocket with each other. And I don't know, our humor was like that, and we would just kind of riff and go back and forth, and it was hysterical, and it was so dark and crazy, and we would go to very interesting places, and I just love that about him. But we kind of had that vibe, like Scrapple and Woodshop, like what we were doing, it was kind of like a band, and I never had that experience of being in a band with somebody, but there is this like crazy camaraderie that you get when you're in a very vulnerable, creative space, like kind of working together and jiving and kind of like share our souls, and it was just a beautiful thing. And the things that Scott did at Woodshop, he was kind of like the voice of these shows that we would do. He would write all this stuff, and he would do all these amazing animations, but it really was like his voice. He was like the heart and soul. Like Scrapple News, it was like his spin on like what was going on in the social world and in the news world. And then he wrote Scrapple Music, which was like his heart and soul. He loved music. But there's a show that he did called Life Lessons with AP Ticker. Yeah. And it's like, if you want to hear Scott's voice, like just look it up. And I'll say it again, it's Life Lessons with AP Ticker. But AP Ticker was just kind of like a puppet. Like he was like this old Anchorman avatar that was basically used for Scott to kind of like really pour his heart and soul into. And you would hear these stories, and there's a particular one called
The Kernel of Truth.
that I highly recommend that you should check out, because it's there. It's like when you hear it, you can hear it in Scott's voice, and it's incredible. And I listen to them, and it's just the way he used comedy, like to kind of just express everything in his life it was beautiful. And I sometimes feel like you can handle tragedy in a tragic way, or you can handle it with comedy, and that was kind of how he kind of dealt with everything. He was just very sharp. His humor was like a fucking knife. It was so good. Like I said, his artwork, his animations, his music. Like, I'm an artist, and I kind of connect with him on that level, and having that kind of spirit in your universe is kind of like a blessing, you know what I mean?
All right, Eric Miller, come on up here. This man runs Magnet Magazine, the best rock magazine ever, based right in Philadelphia. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw some horrible Phillies games together with Scott in the 90s. Yes. Eric Miller.
Hey everybody. Do you guys watch Curb Your Enthusiasm? Anybody? Scott loved Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he introduced the show to me in its first year. We were at seeing a rock band play, and he said, you have to see this show. I just saw this episode. It was so hysterical. Larry David wrote an obituary because his wife's aunt died, and there was a typo in it, and instead of saying beloved aunt, it said beloved. I can't say the word here, but it rhymes with runt. So after Scott passed, Scott's family asked if I could write his obituary, and I was honored, and not something I ever thought I would be doing. But in the back of my head, I had Scott saying, "You got to call me a beloved. You've got to." It was incessant, the way Scott, once he gets his claws in you, he doesn't let go. So I didn't include it. And I guess his family's probably pretty happy about that, but I just want to apologize to Scott and say, Scott, I'm sorry. You are a beloved. Rhymes with Hunt. I met Scott in 1996, and we hung out together for periods of time, like all the time. We saw a lot of sports. But the joke in Lanola, they said that Scott and I were dating, but I think they were just jealous. And we watched a lot of Eagles together. And he invited me over one time to his parents' house, Ann and George. And I hit it off instantly with them as well. I had some of the best times watching football and sports, hanging out at your house, and with George and the dogs and the family, and it was just, I realized then how important family was to Scott. And going back to the dismal Phillies games that Scott and I would go to, we went to one game one night, and Scott could not stop talking about how he went on a first date with a woman he had known from before, but last night had been their first official date. And Scott never talked about stuff like this, but he just would not stop talking about what a great time he had and how he was going to see her again, and he just really, really liked her. And obviously that was Kristen. And you know, since according to the Lanola guy, Scott and I were dating, I was getting a little jealous that he had found somebody else who, you know, so I was just thinking maybe I'll hate Kristen and whatever. But I met Kristen, and Kristen's a wonderful woman and always has been, so sweet. After they were married, Charlie and Marshall came along, and I got to see them as little kids when they would come over to Scott's parents' house, and Scott would tell them to call me Weird Uncle Eric. And I told them they could just call me Eric, and Scott insisted they call me Weird Uncle Eric. You know, I miss him so much. He was, you know, one of the best friends I've ever had in my life, and it's hard to believe he's gone. And he was a beloved, you know, rhymes with Hunt. I can't say it, but that's, I mean, I hope he likes that, because I think he would. He was just, he was a great guy, and obviously the amount of people here who came out to celebrate his life know he's one of a kind, and I feel honored to have called him a friend. So thanks.
Kristen's brother, Jamie.
Thank you, Pat. Thanks, gang. Just like everyone else tonight has already spoke, I have so much to be thankful for my brother-in-law, Scott. The obvious ones are my nephews, and being the husbands of my sister. But it was also a big part of my relationship with Scott is he was a very fast friend to me right in the beginning, and a very encouraging and very inspired partner in anything I ever asked help for, which was music videos, artwork with Wright. I kind of felt very, like a lot of people mentioned, I was very intimidated by meeting Scott and being pulled into the indie rock scene in Philadelphia. It was not, you know, it's definitely, you know, from just being a skateboarder from New Jersey and new into the city, trying to get into the music scene, and having Scott in my life very early on in that situation certainly benefited me in any endeavor I ever had, because he was a true partner, and I'm thankful for that. And then I'm also thankful for this Big Lebowski t-shirt. He gave me, it might be close to 15 or 20 years ago, and my family, Scott always vacationed. We vacationed together a lot, and part of our summer vacations we always watched the Big Lebowski, and it was a very inspiring thing to him and his art and everything, the dude and all that. So, thinking of a song, I thought the theme song was "Man and Me" by Bob Dylan, and And this is to you, Scott. Thank you for everything. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Man in me will do nearly any task, and as for compensation, well, there's little he'd ask. Takes a woman like you to get through to the man in me. Storm clouds are raging all around my door. Think to myself, I just can't take it anymore. Takes a woman like your kind to find the man in me. Oh, what a wonderful feeling to know that you're all here. Sets my heart reeling from my toes up to my ears. Man in me will hide sometimes to keep from being seen. That's 'cause he doesn't want to end up some machine. Takes a woman like you to get through to the man in me. But oh, what a wonderful feeling, knowing that you're near. It sets my heart reeling from my toes up to my ears. La la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. La la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Thank you, gang. Thank you, Scott.
Okay. Stevie Buttons, you ready? Long before I was in the picture with Scott, Stevie and Scott had a band called Prodigal Son. And Stevie's a killer guitar player, and he's a lefty like me, so, you know, we got a lot in common. Step on that when you're ready. And Stevie's gonna play you a song about a place we all used to hang out in Cherry Hill called Rock Hill Road. Ladies and gentlemen, Stevie Buttons.
Scott Colan, man, I love you, and everybody in this room does. And that's eternal. Like him, like you, and like me. So I'll see you in heaven, brother. I wrote this about all these crazy friends around here. Thanks, Scott. Looking for somewhere to go, looking for something to do. I know a place that is cool, crazy and just down the road. Where's my posse, where's my monkey? Where's my posse, where's my posse, where's my monkey? Hanging with Scotty and Joe, never had nothing to show but good times every day. Maybe I fire up a J. You know I would if I had one. I would pass it around, 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 around. Where's my posse? Where's my posse? Where's my monkey? Where's my monkey? Where's my monkey? Where's my posse? The party's on Rock Hill Road, y'all. The party's on Rock Hill Road. Say what you wanna say, be what you wanna be. The pay us for free on Rock Hill Road. Life keeps on bringing you down. Nothing here going round. Stop kicking your head across the ground and elevate up to the sound. Where's my posse? Where's my posse? Where's my monkey? Where's my monkey? Where's my monkey? Where's my posse? The party's on Rock Hill Road, y'all. The party's on Rock Hill Road. Say what you wanna say, be what you wanna be. The beer's for free on Rock Hill Road. I love you forever, my brother. I always will. You're deep in my soul, and I know he's in the rest of your souls too. God bless him. Live life to the fullest, because that's what Scott always did.
I should add, Stevie was supposed to go see James Taylor tonight and said, you know what? I'm going to be here. So thank you, Stevie. Now, it was...
Taylor's no Scott Colan.
No, he's not. Carly Simon would tell you the same thing. So, it was Stevie, it was me, it was Scott Colan, and it was this next gentleman who's going to come up and sing, Scott Rocks, who is far, 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 far and away the best singer I've ever worked with. And, like, for real, dude, you're like, you guys are in for a treat. Scott Rocks, get up here. Get up here, Scott Rocks.
Rock Hill Road. It's like brotherhood. Except if you don't drink. And when you walk into a party and everybody's laying on the ground, you're like, what? And Scott's like, yo, if you're going to be our front man, you got to start partying and drinking with us. And here's a song you made me learn, the whole record.
Scott rocks. Now, the only person in my life who I knew longer than Scott is about to play, Jay. And I think when I introduced you to Scott the first time, you were basically one of the people that said, who is this? Like, who is this guy? Like, what is his deal? And then they ended up being in a band together and touring all over and doing all these great things together. So I'm happy you guys hooked up, man, because our lives are all better for it. This is Jay. Jay Lachlan.
Child without an eye. So the signs from God, why ask why? She kept a cup clear on Buckingham Green. The children saw the eye as a sign from God, delivered from the sky. It was alright to dream on Buckingham Green. So right here is where, if Scott was here, this whole place would light up with fucking Christmas lights and a smoke machine, and we'd all have masks. And we all have masks. Everybody has these masks. That was Scott. He put together the best shows I've ever played. He's, he was unique. Everybody talked a lot about him already, so I'll just play. This next song is, it's called Cast Your Lines. Scott wrote these words. Bear with me, I haven't sang this high in a little while. But Scott used to write lyrics, and I would get pages and pages of lyrics. And I would usually kind of pull shit. But this song, he wrote, and I thought it was great, and he was very proud of this song too. So, here we go. Close your eyes, get some rest. Hold your hands above your head. Salty eyes start to shed, rise and shine. It's time to go. Magic heart starts to slow, rolling eyes. Way too fast, burning flags. Let 'em fly. To laugh, start to cry. Green on wheels, bugs on walls, rats on phones, answer calls, rolling eyes. Way too fast, burning flags, let 'em fly. Fly half-mast. guys. I love you, Scott.
Okay. Now, earlier you may have remembered me referencing the fact that I was in a band with Scott and this gentleman right here, Ronnie Tagg. So you're probably wondering, well, you were in a band, what happened to the band? Well, the band broke up about 8 or 9 months after we started, after I started playing with them, and I'm gonna tell you how and why it broke up. So it's like August of 1990. We're hanging out at Scott's family's house in Lindenwald. It's a hot summer night. Ronnie's wearing very, very, very short denim cutoff shorts, as he was wont to do.
Still got it.
And we're hanging out by the pool. I'm sure you do. Ronnie had some stuff in his pockets that he didn't want getting wet, apparently. And Scott and Sean threw Ronnie in the pool. Ronnie got really mad because the stuff that he didn't want getting wet got wet. It was marijuana, by the way. And, which is totally legal here now, so. Anyway, Ronnie was pissed. Ronnie was really pissed, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. He's a heavy man. How did they throw him in the pool like that? So then Ronnie got out of the pool, said a bunch of stuff, and he walks to the front of the house. He got in his Camaro. I probably didn't need to tell you that he had a Camaro, but he got in his Camaro. And he starts the car, and we're all standing there like, what's he gonna do? And he starts ramming his car into Scott's Toyota pickup truck. And the more he did it, the more we laughed, which made him more mad. And he kept ramming his car into the front of Scott's car. And then he took off and the band broke up. That's how much Ronnie loved Scott. Scott threw him in the pool with 2 pockets full of marijuana. And yet, here's Ronnie right now. And he brought the PA and he set it up and everything. So, God damn it, Ronnie, you're the best. Let's do a song for Scott, Ronnie. I got my cigarettes.
Oh, you got your cigarettes.
What's in that cigarette pack, Jay?
Don't throw him in the pool, Ronnie.
Everyone here loves Scott. Scott had no fear in saying what he wanted to, but what he felt, what he believed in, no matter the consequences. And he would listen to what you had to say. We should all say something on our minds and disregard the consequences this weekend. Scott's honor. We should all be more like Scott. This goes out to you, buddy. Remember when you were young, you shone like the sun, shine on you crazy diamond, thread to the shadows at night, exposed in the light. Scott.
Ronnie, that was so much fun, and it reminded me that we used to do In the Flesh all the time. That's right. Ronnie Tag, everybody. Without Ronnie Tag, I don't know Scott. Anyways, we have one more. Brendan Squire. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah, come on up, Brendan. All the way from, where are you these days? Fishtown?
I live in Philly again.
Where are you?
I'm in Harrogate now.
Harrogate. All right. Let me get my ascot on. Hold on. Calm down.
Wonderful. I've never used one of these pickups before. We'll see how it's going.
Oh, yeah, tech talk. Here we go. Pickups, chords, yeah.
Yeah, let me use yours, man. You want to go okay? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Great.
Nice shirt, Brendan.
Thank you.
Anyway, say a few words. Brendan's going to do a few songs. Then listen, when we're done, we're going to hang out. We're going to have some drinks. The bar is open downstairs if we want to go have a couple drinks downstairs. Is Duke's Till Dawn still open? Anybody know?
We can reopen.
That's another deep cut for the heads. Yeah, there we go. All right. Brendan, everybody.
That's good enough. There we go. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Scott was, I know some of you, and I don't know all of you, but it's nice to meet all of you. Scott was one of the first people that was friends with me when I moved to Philly. I moved to Philly in '99. I was in a bluegrass band called Jim and Jenny and the Pine Tops. Fair warning, I'm not really a guitar player, an upright bass player, but I'll do my best. But we played just real straight up hardcore, flat and scruggs, bluegrass, and for whatever reason, Scott decided that we were going to open for Lanola on Halloween in either '99 or 2000. One of the posters is over there. And for whatever reason, Scott decided that we were friends. And we were friends. And he was just so great to me. When I had a kid, Scott's kids and my kid became friends. And we hung out. We'd see each other during the summers. My kid lived up in Canada, still does. And he would come down, he'd hang out with Charlie and Marshall. I think Charlie and Sam. Charlie, did you and Sam finally reconnect? That's awesome. I'm really happy for that. That's a good thing. But then, later, after music, when I was, 40, whatever, my fiance and I had split up, and it was just a horrible, you know what that looks like. And Scott was just and I was unemployed, and I had nothing to do, and Scott was saw me complaining on Facebook probably about how woe is me, and he was like, dude, you need something to do. Come on down to Woodshop with me and Project. We're working on this writing project. And he always liked my writing too, which was nice. And I was just like, yeah, sure. And that also was just amazing. He was just an amazing person. So anyway, I'll keep that short. I'm not a particularly religious person, but like I said, I used to play a lot of bluegrass, and I still do play a lot of country music. So I'm going to play a gospel song that I know Scott enjoyed. It was on our first album, second album, I forget which one. Anyway, it's called Heavenly Light, and I'll show you the lyrics if you want to sing along. Though of course you don't have to if you don't want to. Jamie, if you want to come up and sing some harmony, that would be freaking awesome, because we've done this before. But it goes like this. I'll line it out for you. I'll line it out for you. And then if you want to sing along, you can feel free to do that. And the choruses go like this. Heaven light is shining on me, on me. Heaven light is shining on me, on me. Way up yonder in that new bright world. Lo, that heaven light is shining on me. I'll say it one more time. Heaven light is shining on me, on me. Heaven light is shining on me, on me. Way up yonder in that new bright world, lo, that heaven light is shining on me. Heaven light is shining on me, on me. Heaven light is shining on me, on me. Way up yonder in that new bright world, lo, that heaven light is shining on me. Some of our fathers have gone, set up most of your bass player. Well, some of our friends have gone, have gone. Some of our friends have gone, have gone. Well, yonder in that new bright world, that headlight is shining on me. Headlight is shining on me, shining on me. Headlight is shining on me, shining on me. Way up yonder in that new bright world, that headlight is shining on me. Some of our brothers have gone, have gone. Some of our brothers have gone, have gone. Well, up yonder in that new bright world, oh, that heaven light is shining on me. Heaven light is shining on me. Heaven light is shining on me. Way up yonder in that new bright world, oh, that heaven light is shining on me. Heaven light is shining on me, on me. That heaven light is shining on me. Way up yonder in that new bright world, oh, that heaven light is shining on me. That heaven light is shining on me. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Scott, for everything you did for me, and so much love to you guys, too. So much love. Thank you. God, I miss you, dude. I fucking miss you.
So, at Scott's wedding, right, I'm the best man. I was supposed to give this great speech. Scott comes up to me about an hour and a half in. I'm like, dude, when am I going to give my speech? And he's like, hey, you got something written? I'm like, yeah. He's like, let me see. Well, this bastard of a brother takes my speech, throws it in the trash. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So we're right by the bar when he does this. He buys me 2 shots, and then he takes me outside to Chuckles. He's like, Chuckles, you got something for my brother to smoke? And he's like, yeah, so I smoke. He's like, 45 minutes to get through your speech, bro. So I'm like sitting there. So what I want to do is I want to give a toast to Scott, because I never gave him a proper toast at the wedding. I just kind of rambled on, like kind of what I'm doing now. But now, like, when we get somebody like Scott, now this guy, like, I keep hearing, like, talking to everybody, everyone's saying legend. And, oh, he's a legend, he's a legend. Well, in order to be a legend, you have to have a legacy. And that's all you. You guys are all his legacy. I mean, think of the memories. I can go on and on. Everybody has a Scott story. Everybody. And they're always funny, or they're embarrassing, and we all try to keep it PG-13 when we talk, and we know better. We all know better. You know, but it's like, when a man, now this is where the toast, I want you guys got a drink, raise it up. When a person comes into your life, and they leave a mark in your soul, in your heart so deep, it's not goodbye. It's forever. So let's toast to forever, everybody. Scott, appreciate you. I love you. You guys are always family. Thank you.
All right, so when I was born, I just had this weird uncle growing up, and every time I saw him, he was either making fun of me or shoving a camera in my face, and I'm just glad that I'm glad he did it, because, you know, I mimicked his style. Like, I'm a photographer too, and I grew up just seeing his work, seeing him take photos of our family, take videos, take film reels, and nobody gets a family movie anymore. You know, this is the 2020s, but, you know, just back to my Uncle Scott, you know, he showed me rock music. He showed me how to play guitar. I mean, he didn't teach me, I mean, I don't know, but he gave me my first Stratocaster and an amplifier. I had no idea what an amplifier even was. And he just comes over my grandmother's house with this big hulking amp. And he's like, you know, that amp's been around the country. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I used to tour around the country with my band. And I'm like, you're in a band? And it's just being a kid, like you're growing up, you pick up on these things as you grow up because there's people around you that are just influencing you. You're just soaking it all in, and that's what he did for me. He showed me how to be myself. He showed me just how special it can be to express yourself through art, through photography, through music. I remember, what was the first song I learned? Enter Sandman. I don't know. Anybody's first song, Smoke on the Water. I showed him, he's like, Dom, keep playing, keep going. Like, you're gonna, one day you're gonna be on stage. And lo and behold, my first time performing at a Battle of the Bands, he brings his camera, takes action shots of everybody. My first time performing. Whose uncle does that? Who has a cool uncle that does that? And he just showed me you can be a rock star, and he was a rock star. And that's just, if you look around, everything he has, everybody that's here talking about him knows him through music, knows him through photography, and just knows him through the genuine person that he was. And I don't know, that's just, he would have loved to be here. He is here. He's here with all of us. So.
Show me your camera, dude. Half frame. That's so cool.
Thing to have on tape. Hey Pat, come here for a second, bro. I'm on you too. Dominic, you too. Come here, Ron.
All right, Charles. Dominic, we would like to present you with the Holy Grail.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
I think we think he would want you to have this.
Really?
Yes. This was his baby. He wanted to be buried with this instrument. We want it to be used.
Oh yeah,
We don't want it to be a wall.
We think it should go down to you.
Oh, we're gonna.
Do you know what that is? You know what year that is?
No. 80s?
No.
60s?
That's
like a 68.
Do you know how much that thing's worth, dude?
Priceless.
No. A lot of money.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
A lot of money. You're talking easy $5,000. Easy. Any day, all day long.
That's never.
This bass
Never getting sold.
is amazing.
There's a lot of history right there, a lot of memories,
It's
bro.
amazing. This is an amazing, amazing bass. There's a serial number right there.
Oh wow. That's where it is. It's
Is it there or is it inside?
No, it's right. It's on the.
Oh, it is on it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the plate?
It's a 649405.
You can look it up on the website.
Yeah, you can
Look it up on the internet.
You'll see it.
I'm kidding.
No, definitely look it
This
up.
is Scott's bass.
He revered this bass. This is worth a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah,
It is an amazing bass. And
the important thing to note, man,
The
Dominic,
reason-
when he got this bass and when he was using this bass, these basses were not like considered cool, but
Right.
Scott knew that like this was the bass.
The P bass.
This was the bass,
It
dude.
is
Yeah,
the
it's on
bass.
all your favorite records, man.
it is
You know?
the tone of it. It's
Yeah.
highly sought after.
Gotcha.
Highly, any superstar would.
Every
die
great
for this.
record has that bass on it.
My records are next.
Yeah. Do it.
No, it's gonna be fun, man. This is gonna be great. I love this thing. Like, I've always seen this just sitting around in the basement at your house, and I'm just like, dude, what did he do to this thing?
You played it.
But you know, it's just like,
Yeah,
well,
played it.
This doesn't take away from the value at
Yeah,
all.
it's surreal.
At all.
Yeah.
No,
And
I
never
know.
get it painted.
I know. Oh, I know.
Keep the original
Yeah.
paint.
No,
Never get it painted.
This is
I'm telling you.
surreal.
That's
Yeah,
his.
dude, we
Yeah.
just didn't want it to be a wall hanger, bro.
We're gonna start a band together. Yo, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Like, it really is an honor.
Play it, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Right
just
now?
play it.
Put it on.
Yeah, man, you're a budding guy.
You know, you can say whatever you want to say through playing it. You know.
Wait, let's
You're
play the
budding
tuning
guys.
song.
There you go.
I don't know, man.
This guy.
Yeah,
This guy.
that's the way Scott would hit it too.
I don't know,
All
man.
right, Tom,
I don't got an
you
amp, so
You
You
just
don't
feel
need
it,
one,
man.
dude.
You
Yeah,
just
he
feel
was
it.
sick. No lie, man. growing up, sitting next to him, he would be like watching, like we'd be watching like Amazing Spider-Man on like Saturday mornings, and he'd just be sitting there with just the bass out there for hours.
It's an amazing, amazing instrument, that thing right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I got stage fright. There's too many people watching me right now.
That's okay. No.
I don't know, man. This is out of tune.
Now
It's still
stop.
rolling?
It's punk rock to play out of tune, man.
I don't know. I don't know any songs on bass yet. I gotta learn on this one.
Not yet.
Who's got a tune?
Just go for a free form jam.
Just find the root. Just find the root
That's right.
notes.
Find the root. The root.
Thank you. Yeah, I just like, can't even hear it. There you go. Good ears.
Just remember, dude,
This guy knows
you
what
got
he's
the head
doing.
moving down. If you're gonna play it like him, you can't stand still.
That's just how he plays too.
Yeah, slap it.
Crack it right there. That's what he always did that.
Yeah, man. Love it.
Dude, I'm telling
Plug
you.
it in.
It's a holy grail instrument right there. Besides it with Scots, it's a holy grail instrument. And the bass player would love it. John Paul Jones, he would love that bass from Led Zeppelin.
That's Scott. Very Scott.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I knew it was worth at least that, without a doubt. Yeah, and that's even beat up, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, you might think,
It's
you know,
played. You can tell he played it.
people like it that way, and with the original finish, like if you finished it, it would take away the value, you know. It's better. And Fender even makes brand new guitars.
People
that
pay
are
for
awards.
that.
Yeah.
People pay for a distressed guitar.
They totally do. They totally do.
Man, I'm gonna play one last note and then put it back.
So it's just real. I'm glad you got it. I know you got a great spirit in you. I know you just walked on that stage and said those kind words.
He's doing it the right way. Oh yeah.
Very good, man. Good luck with it, man.
Thanks, man.
Hope to see you up there
Appreciate
soon.
Oh, this is it's got a lot more life left in it.
On the end that didn't really last. So. Take that.
I need to document this for myself too. On film.
But to like really.
Good for you.
You need a second one.
Get a second something, yeah, because it's like. Right. It's like kind of like. Well, it's like it's based on a marimba. I think
I got my photo.
Marimba is a woodman sort of xylophone. And this is what I did on the drum strings.